Today I've got 55 supplement ingredients for you rated without mercy, from God tier to garbage, all done with a combination of science fact and my close to uncensored opinion. So let's get ready to ruffle some feathers, and I'm going to do all in under 12 minutes. So let's get straight to it and see what's worth buying and what we should probably avoid. Now, as you know, I always like to keep things simple. So there's only 4 tiers. The top A+ tier, or the God tier as some like to call it, is reserved for ingredients that have been shown to exert biological age reversal, slow aging through various pathways, or simply provide extraordinary worthwhile benefits not duplicated by any other ingredient. And moving down one to the A tier, I've reserved this for a variety of highly effective proven ingredients, some of which can be considered essential base supplements, perfectly complementing a healthy diet. You'll also find some great longevity supplements here that didn't quite make it into the God tier. And moving down one to the B tier, I'll call this the cautionary tier. Landing here doesn't mean it's a bad ingredient per se, however it might have dose-dependent issues, resveratrol being a prime example, or there may be inconclusive study results preventing a higher ranking. And lastly, unproven proprietary delivery systems claiming to be superior to the raw ingredient may also be found here. Which brings us to the C tier, which I've reserved for ingredients that I consider to be total garbage. That's supplements that either simply don't work, or worse still, may be a health risk. In other words, ingredients that are more suited to the trash can than your stomach. And lastly, you can find codes in the video description that will get you a nice little discount from iHerb.com and 10% off everything from Do Not Age. Happy days! So let's kick things off with my first selection, and that's high EPA DHA omega-3 fish oil, which is going straight into the God tier, and that's mainly down to the latest studies on this stuff, which leave us in no doubt as to its effectiveness. Check this video out if you want to know more. And the same goes for the next entry, astaxanthin, another top tier entry, unique properties, works fast, I take it daily. Not so for the next entry though, and that's colloidal silver, which is getting dumped straight into the garbage tier. Doesn't work, can be toxic, and may turn you a not so attractive blue-grey colour. Just don't, no matter what the marketing says. But the next we've got 2 great supplements, and that's digestive enzymes and proteolytic enzymes, both A tier entries. These absolute gems can take the strain off your pancreas, improve digestion, and build immune defence. I use them both daily. Multivitamins and minerals up next, and of course they're going straight into the A tier. These should be part of everyone's daily stack. Just avoid the low price synthetic supermarket rubbish. And if you don't eat meat, vitamin B12 should also be part of that stack. So that's another A tier entry. Which is also joined by saw palmetto, ideal for men wanting to lower their DHT levels without resorting to pharmaceuticals. And for some, there may even be a free testosterone boost resulting from lowering of SHBG, short for sex hormone binding globulin. And it's another C tier entry next for St. John's wort. Claims, and I emphasize claims, are that it treats mild depression, but then so does exercise. And guess what? Exercise doesn't have potentially dangerous drug interactions or negative side effects. In stark contrast, next up 2 God tier entries from taurine and creatine monohydrate. Lots of studies behind these two, just avoid the creatine gummies. Google it. Now I did already mention that it's a B tier entry for resveratrol, not because it doesn't work, but because it's critical that you get the dosage right, as its effects are very different dependent on it. And if you're curious, watch this video to understand why that's so. And moving up to the A tier, we have 3 solid entries from vitamin D3, K2 and magnesium, listed together because they're all essential and work in conjunction with each other to keep your bones in tip-top condition. And if you rarely see the sun, then consider D3 to be in the God tier for you. And we also mustn't forget that the type of magnesium is important too, so watch this video if you want to know why. 2 God tier entries next, and that's for oral hyaluronic acid and collagen peptides. These are the ultimate skin supplements to slow and even reverse skin aging, but just be sure that your hyaluronic acid is of a high molecular weight. Most brands use cheap, ineffective, low molecular weight HA, so be careful. I use a 2.6 million Dalton's product. And while we're on the God tier, I'm adding melatonin. If you're over 50 and you haven't researched this stuff yet, don't wait any longer. It's not just beneficial for sleep. Another one for the med now and going straight into the A tier is lycopene, specifically lycomatol, which contains all the tomatocarotenoids. Think prostate, gentlemen. And dropping down to the B tier, we've got branched chain amino acids. Absolutely pointless and useless supplement for most people, other than, say, calorie restricted athletes on a cut. Because if you eat enough protein, then you're getting all the branched chain aminos you need. Put your money into high quality complete protein sources instead. It's a cautionary B tier entry next for selenium, and that's because it has a narrow therapeutic range. Plus, most high quality multivitamins already contain as much as you need. So be careful, because taking too much selenium can be dangerous. Don't exceed 400 micrograms per day and you'll be fine. A god tier entry and unique ingredient from Do Not Age up next, and that's SIRT6 Activator. It's a proprietary seaweed extract with unique SIRT2 and 6 activation properties, and it literally costs a fortune to collect, test and extract. Now, world-renowned longevity professor Vera Gobernova oversees the quality control and even takes the product herself. In fact, so in demand has this ingredient become, and supply so limited, that some fraudulent companies have recently been claiming to sell the very same product. However, these fakes are an outright scam, with legal action currently underway. Trash tier entry next for raspberry ketones, a popular scam weight loss product. If you bought it, just bin it, it's junk. Not so, however, in the case of green and red superfood powders, because unless you have perfect nutrition, which is pretty much impossible these days, then these bad boys are a lifesaver. So no question, it's a god tier for both of those. Because you just can't ingest that quality or amount of nutrients so easily any other way. It's another A tier entry next, this time for green tea extract, specifically EGCG. Some great health benefits and worthwhile fat loss effects, and that's why I take it daily. Next, and straight into the C tier, I'm putting every single low dose all-in-one supplement currently on the market. And by low dose, I mean any all-in-one supplements that include multiple active ingredients at dosages insufficient to elicit any kind of worthwhile response. Cheeky little scam, that one. Garbage tier entry for you next, and this time it's ginkgo biloba. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not paying to put something that's classified as a group 2B carcinogen with 290 known drug interactions into my body, no matter what the marketing hype says. However, there's no such issues for the two NAD precursors, NMN and NR. And I'm shoving these two longevity powerhouses straight into the god tier. Granted, their effectiveness definitely depends on a person's level of NAD deficiency, but when they work, they work. And up next, we have two supplements that actually work to support the effective functioning of NMN and NR, and that's TMG and Apigenin. They're both also solid performers in their own right, so an instant A tier for them. And if you're wondering why they're necessary, then watch this video. Two more for the B tier next, and that's glucosamine and chondroitin. I personally suffer from joint issues, resulting from many years of contact sports. However, I never found these ingredients to provide any relief at all at any dose. Study results are mixed, however, if it works for you, all well and good. Just try to determine that it's not just placebo effect that you're experiencing. And it's a god tier entry next for the powerful autophagy supplement spermidine, with an added benefit that extends the anagen growth phase of your hair. And joining spermidine in the god tier is the rather unique mitophagy ingredient urolithin A. Lots of scam products out there though, so just be careful. And it's a strong A tier entry next from protein powder. Now, protein requirements actually increase with advancing years, not decrease as most people believe. And nothing makes it easier to meet your daily protein requirements than a high quality protein powder supplement. Derived from plant, whey, egg, casein or beef, the choice is yours. We have two great ingredients for your mitochondria next, and that's CoQ10 and PQQ. Working together synergistically, these are both destined for the A tier. As is the over-the-counter hormone DHEA, great for both men and women in later life when levels decline significantly. And it's a C tier entry for iron supplements next. Look, if you're a healthy adult and you're eating a sensible diet, then an iron supplement is absolutely unnecessary and potentially harmful if it puts you over the safe daily limit. So unless you've been diagnosed as anemic, then you don't need it. In fact, I even make sure it's not in my multivitamin mineral capsule. Just get it from your food, and I don't mean the crap they add to processed food. Whole foods only. And joining iron down the C tier is the popular sports and male enhancement supplement yohimbine. Now yes, it may have some evidence of relieving ED slightly better than a placebo, however this stuff also interacts with 35 different meds and supplements, so caution is advised. Other than that, there's no other proven benefits, despite what that annoying knucklehead gym bro might be telling you. And if you happen to have a dodgy heart, then definitely don't ingest this stuff. Jumping up to the A tier now is a strong entry from berberine, great for blood sugar control, weight loss and several other health benefits. And slipping in alongside berberine is the ingredient curcumin, which is the primary active compound extracted from turmeric. Now I'm specifically placing curcumin in the A tier entirely down to its often cited osteoporosis pain relief effects and not related to any other claims which remain generally unproven. Another C tier entry next, and that's for all calcium supplements. Do not take this stuff unless you have a medical diagnosis that requires it, because ingesting too much can harm you. Unless someone's on a crazy restrictive diet, they're getting all they need from their food. After all, that's the source we each built our skeleton from, so we won't do better. Next up, and this one's bound to upset a few, and that's a B tier entry for all liposomal supplements, not because they don't work just as well as a standard ingredient, but because the claims made by most sellers regarding massively increased absorption rates are nothing more than a work of fiction. If you just take your fat-soluble ingredients with a few walnuts or other fat source, you'll not be far off the absorption rates for the best liposomal supplements, and for a fraction of the price. That's where the smart people are putting their money. Don't agree? Then show us the peer-reviewed studies that prove otherwise. There's another B tier entry next to the liver cleansing supplement milk thistle extract. Despite its popularity over the years, the evidence regarding its efficacy seems more anecdotal than science-based. Now look, if you feel it works for you, fair enough, I'm not going to argue, but it's not a supplement you'll find in my stack. And the same goes for the weight loss supplement Bitter Orange, which is going straight into the trash tier. It became popular when ephedra got banned because it contains synephrine, which is similar to ephedrine and is linked to heart attacks and strokes. Minimal evidence for weight loss effectiveness further justifies its ranking. Back up to the God tier now with a solid entry from calcium alpha ketoglutarate. And that's down to substantial study evidence of biological age reversal, and that's why I take it daily. Moving down one to the A tier, next we have alpha lipoic acid, the primary proven benefit of which is in reducing diabetic neuropathy symptoms. It also functions as an antioxidant that regenerates other antioxidants and can provide modest glucose metabolism and cardiovascular benefits. And that's followed by a strong A tier entry from the senolytic fisetin, an ingredient possessing several desirable benefits, all of which you can learn about by watching this video. Next up is Glynac, which simply combines glycine and N-acetylcysteine in the same capsule, providing some highly desirable longevity benefits, including boosting glutathione safely, which is why it's earned a place in the God tier. Although just to be clear, there's absolutely no issue with taking them as two separate ingredients, exactly the same result, just less convenient. Two more for the A tier next, and that's L-carnosine and beta-alanine. Both effectively boost muscle carnosine levels, however beta-alanine does it a lot cheaper. I personally use both as there are advantages to each, but essentially let your budget decide which way to go. And it's the last of the God tier entries next from sulforaphane. This plant-based compound is found in many cruciferous vegetables and possesses several worthwhile benefits, including proven cancer suppression. The formulation is important, however, with sulforaphane from Do Not Age, my pick is the current standout sulforaphane product. It's the final A tier entry next, and that's for the powerful polyphenol quercetin. Blood sugar control and allergy suppressing effects are just two of its many benefits. You can find out all you need to know about it in this informative video. And that, my friends, is it. If I missed out your favourite ingredient, sorry, but we're out of time and I can't cover everything. Perhaps next time. And talking of next time, what would you like to see next? A health guru tier list perhaps? That might be fun. Just let me know in the comments. Many thanks for watching, and as always, take care, be healthy, and I'll see you again soon.